Shout out to the Cows Gang. I'm your host, Mr. Palmer, and welcome to the show, Victim or Volunteer. What I want y'all to do, grab the nearest couch, sit back, and enjoy the ride. Man, Cows Gang, I want to talk to y'all about something that's really serious, controversial, and unfortunate. But when it comes to interracial relationships in the Black community, it's always a disdain. You know, how dare you get with a white woman? You know, especially when Black men do it. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is because you have a father who was allegedly murdered by his girlfriend / child's mother. He was 30 years old. His name was Telvin Osborne, and he was allegedly killed by his girlfriend, Grace Cobb, 25 years old, of Keysville. Now, this happened in Georgia, and this happened, I believe, February the 25th. I might be wrong. But before we get into the news article, I saw it online, and people was like, man, she killed him, because she allegedly tried to say that she was in the club, she was kicking it off, she was pulling up gun signs and Matter of fact, check the video out from TikTok. She's dancing around and like she's with the showing she's down to shoot. You know what I'm saying? Look all high and drunk in the motherfucker. But, you know, as you see it, look at it. Just look. You know, she with the from what it looked like. They say she came home 5 in the morning. They got into an argument, but she says that she was cleaning off the gun and it went off and she thought it was on safety bullshit. And when we seen it online, we like, nah, we don't believe that. That's bullshit. Nah, woo. And what got me was the fact that you had a lot of Black females, Black women, and a few Black males talking about this is what happened when you deal with a white woman. You shouldn't deal with a white woman and all that. But my thing is, we hear stories all the time about a Black woman killing a Black man. But when a Black woman do it, then the first thing a motherfucker say is, he must have been beating her. What did he do? He must have cheated. This is something he did for her to just kill him. She's a victim. Now, when we see a Black woman dealing with a white man, they say, girl, get your Prince Charming. You go, girl. That's the way to go. They even got a name for it. Divestors. They divest when they get with a white man. Black man ain't got no titles or no name for dealing with a white woman. But that's just what it is. And that's always gonna be. But like I said, a Black woman kill a Black man, white woman kill a white man kill a Black woman, and a Black man kill a Black woman. I mean, I'm just saying. Now, it's always gonna be controversial. That's just what it is, you know. But what people need to realize that when it comes to all races marry their own more than going outside the race. Now, we got to talk about this unfortunate story because it's very sad. At least it was sad. Because I ain't gonna lie, at first, a lot of people was like, you know, they just said, hey man, don't deal with white women, that's what's up, you know, nah, don't deal with them. But when they found out the past of Telvin Osborne early, it was more like, especially Black women, sit this one out, sis. That, hey, what you got for dinner? What's going on, sis? Him. And I'm gonna tell you why. But first, let's talk about this story. So everybody thought that she was not locked up, she wasn't in jail when she really was. Yeah, she said she was playing with the gun or trying to clean it or whatever, but the police didn't believe that. They didn't fall for this. They charged her with involuntary manslaughter and the domestic shooting death of her boyfriend on Sunday. Now, like I said, it's 25 years old of Keysville is accused of shooting 30-year-old Telvin Osborne early Sunday in the master bedroom in their home. They shared 2 children, and that's unfortunate. It happened after an argument and an evening of drinking, said the sheriff, right? And what the sheriff said was, it is reckless to go out and then get drunk and then introduce a firearm into an argument, you know? And he said that during the press conference. And this case has not been ruled an accidental shooting. So everybody that's saying that, you know, it was accidental and all that, no, not at all. So the fight involved pushing and shoving before Cobb fired the fatal wounds. or the fatal shot to the father of her children. Now, he did say, the sheriff said it wasn't no prior records of domestic incidents between them, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let the news speak his piece, only a minute and a half, something like that. Check it out, check it out, check it out.
Today, a woman has been arrested in connection to a deadly Burke County shooting. Sheriff Alfonso Williams announced the arrest of Hannah Cobb, who's facing a charge of involuntary manslaughter in the death of 30-year-old Telvin Osborne. Investigators say Osborne was found Sunday morning inside a home on 4 Points Road in Keysville with a gunshot wound to the chest. Incident reports say Cobb said that while she was checking her gun, it went off, hitting Osborne in the chest, telling authorities she thought the gun was in safety mode while she was checking it. Sheriff Williams says that's not the case, and this is not being ruled as accidental. Osborne was pronounced dead at a local hospital.
Through this investigation and interviews with family members, it is evident that both sides, both families, are deeply concerned for the well-being of all parties involved. The case is truly heartbreaking, and we're committed to treating the victim and the families with the utmost respect.
Sheriff Williams says they are still investigating the case.
So y'all heard of Cal's gang, she charged involuntary manslaughter, ain't no accident, no cleaning. So this happened, like I say, Sunday morning about 5:45 in the morning, where the deputies responded to the report of a shooting at the 800 block of 4 Points Road near Waynesboro, Georgia. Upon arrival, investigators discovered Osborne in the master bedroom with a single gunshot wound to the chest. He was rushed to the hospital, but later pronounced dead. Now, for what I've seen on his Instagram, well, not Instagram, but on social media, Facebook, he was a country boy. I guess it's a country area. I never heard of this town, this city, but he's a country boy. You look on his Facebook page, you know, he about the country life. You know, he live his life like he got his own thing going on. He had his own house, and everything was all good just a week ago. But then it came out. It made a lot of black women turn their motherfucking back on him. But before we get into that, let's take a look. Well, you know what? No. We're gonna go ahead and get into that, because this was kind of what it's all about in a sense. Now, go to his Twitter account, which is X, where he posted on here. The last time I seen a post was in 2012. But what he said up top, he said, "I love them white girls. They already know. Telbo in between, hashtag team white girls, hashtag team snow bunnies." And then if you go to July 23rd, 2012, he got in parentheses, team white girls. You go to the next one, July 20th, because I'm going backwards. It says white girls and got the greater than black girls. With that sign there, all them signs greater than black girls. And that's all I see. That's just a start. That's just a start. So now I got the screenshot. I couldn't find on his brother page. His brother name is Telvin Tremaine D. Lakes. That's on his Facebook page. And this was posted or shared July 20th, 2014, where his brother shared Telbo Rackins' page. And he said, the brother said, "This here, say he'll a white dog before he'll a black girl." Now, really what Telbo says, he said, "I'll a dog before I a black." It gotta be a white dog though. You can't make this up. Now that's one thing to, you know, go outside your race because that's your choosing, that's your preference. But it's another one to be down them like that. But you know, what do I know? Now we go to Facebook. Now, February 25th, 7:21 p.m., his brother Telvin Tremaine D. Lakes tagged his brother, and he said, "You were supposed to be with me in Texas, brother. I begged you to come with me, but you wanted to stay to celebrate for your girl's birthday. The call I got on my way home changed my life forever. You me up with this one, Bo, and all I want to know is why, especially when you know I'm not built for this. I didn't even get to tell you I love you before you checked out on me." That's what we always told each other. My right-hand man. Bro, we had many plans. Losing you put some pain on me. I'm crushed. Seeing your kids on the picture make me sicker to my stomach. This is real on my end, brother. I got you till my casket drop. Shicey little dude, you know. And, you know, people's in the comments, you know, praying. But you got somebody in the comments with the laugh emoji. So I guess them the ones that's laughing because they like basically that because he like to down black women or call out black women. Now, I guess this is a friend of his or a family member, and we're gonna get to the comments on here. Wadrick Osborne Williams, he said, my page will be back to normal as soon as I keep blocking these ignorant people who only come on to raise clout through their platforms and content pages. Bye to you all, honey, ooh, Charlie. And then he tagged Telbo Rackins. I love you. What everybody else thinks, says or thinks. You're dead and gone, and will speak what they want. I've shown my love and support, but it's now time to lay it to rest. I will, however, still let the police department know I'm watching. I don't need nobody else to support me when I contact the news medias, etc., etc. That's what covers the real stories. The rest is just media platforms. I like world news, state news, local news, not that platform stuff anyway. Yes, some of them had good intentions, but the rest was a bunch of money-hungry people who, when they got mad, started attacking you just like they do other black men. Shaking my head. So what he talking about, you know, the interracial and also, I guess, you know, the comments that was said. Now, here's a response. So this female basically took a post off Telbo Rackins. For those who don't want y'all getting confused, this is the one who was deceased, who was murdered. He posted this February, it's a screenshot, February 20th, 2022. My name, Telbo Rackins, but when you see me, I'm white. And then got a white fist. Yeah, bruh. Oh, now somebody else posted the tag from what the brother had, the one I just talked about. Another female said, I saw another post, co-workers of his says, she's pointed a gun at him before. Oh, wow. So she pointed a gun at him before, allegedly. This other female said the whole crew isn't taking accountability. His family and friends are handling this wrong. The only reason Hannah was arrested was because the outcry associated with social media. His family and friends' ignorance is on full display via social media posts. Lots of victim mentalities and self-hate being demonstrated. The same victim mentality that you claim to hate in our community, all you need to do is do better. Okay. So this woman said the irony is he died in the master's bedroom, so the slave master's house, you know. This other woman says, sorry for your loss, but on this paragraph just proves exactly why your brother was shot. You guys don't like yourselves, and then when you need someone to back you up and protest, you need a black woman to be by your side. You get all those white women in Georgia to protest, make signs and help, but I have a feeling it's gonna go the other way. They're going to make signs for her. Good luck with that again. Sorry for your loss, but this is not our fight. So she's saying, hey man, I'm sorry for what happened, but it's not our fight. It is what it is. You disrespect black women, so, you know, figure it out. See, I want y'all to understand this, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. This man is gone. The only person who gets justice is the living. The family, the friends, the people who supported him. See, I hear people say it all the time, get justice for him or justice for her. The reality is, he or she is gone. And if it's true about what the book says, you know, you'll be risen and hopefully go to heaven and be along God and God's children. So when we say, oh, you know, we're gonna fight for justice, it's justice for the living. Because this person is no longer here. They don't have to suffer no more, no pain, no sadness, no hurt, no turmoil, none of that. He or she is free from what the book says. So we need to stop with the, you know, support for him or judgment for him and all that stuff, because for the living and the ones who cares. So this person, the guy, says the real victims in this are the kids. They now have no parents, and they family members on social media trying to defend the indefensible. This man said some vile, hurtful things on social media towards black women, and it seems like it was unprovoked. And instead of his family calling him out, they encourage it by laughing and making it a running joke. You can love who you love and not degrade others in the process. And then the family and friends continue to show their true colors by continuing the degrading of black women in their responses. Y'all should definitely take the time off of social media to grieve and rest up this legal battle that's coming. Because it's going to be very draining, I'm sure there will be some statements made about how abusive he was, of course, how no one really knows how he was behind closed doors. It always happens this way. So save the energy for the real fight. Y'all are in for, because these social media posts aren't going to be anything compared to how they're going to vilify him to save her. And I agree with that. They are going to use the victim move. They're going to use the he's abusive and all that. But I want y'all to understand the reality is that's not just for a white woman. Now, we know when it comes to white women, they're looked at as the most victimized motherfuckers on the planet. And that's a lie. But at the same time, black women do it. Latino women do it. They all do it. In the United States of America, they allow that. All you got to say is he beat me and he lose custody of his kids. So yeah, I get what people saying, you know, white women got the history of throwing black men under the bus and getting them killed and lynching and everything on false allegations, tore up community because of it. But let's not talk about they the only ones, because that's not the case. But yeah, when it comes to this society, they will use the card and try to help them to get out of jail free card and get out of this. The women that's down to do that bullshit. See, this is where the controversy come out when this situation. So now, because he said in the past, and now he ain't, that's what he get. Good for him. And it is what it is. So let me ask y'all a question. Do that goes for anybody that does this? That they, you know, you got a white dude that like black women, so he diss white women, and when if he get killed unjustly by a black woman, does that mean he shouldn't get justice because, hey, he diss white women? I want to know, because that's something definitely we need to talk about. Now, do I think he reached too much? In my opinion, yeah, I ain't even do all that. If you like dealing with white women, that's what you deal with. You know, it is what it is. Or do you think that regardless of how he felt about black women, how much he loved white women, he should, you know, his family should get justice for this unfortunate situation? To be honest with you, it's like the brother man said on Facebook, that the kids lose. The kids lost a father and a mother. Because if she go to jail, they won't have a mother. And the father's gone, he ain't coming back. So what do y'all think, Couch Gang? When it comes to Telbo Rackins, I got to know, is he a victim or volunteer? Y'all tell me what y'all think. Appreciate y'all tuning in. I'm Mr. Palmer, and this conversation is over. Couch Gang, Couch Gang.